Alrighty, good evening, and thank you guys for joining me this fantastic Sunday evening for our Cooking with Titus session. I hope everyone is having or has had a fantastic day out there. Let's give people a few seconds to get signed in before we get going. I'm gonna go ahead and pin this up really quickly. So a couple of things this evening. I'm gonna show you guys a few finished products of a few things because a lot of times people don't get to see the finished product of a few things. So just pin this, like I said, and give people a few seconds. There you go. So right now we're live on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. However, for people, just to FYI, before long, we're going to be doing a lot of these on YouTube only. So make sure you go and follow me on YouTube, Titus Unlimited on YouTube. So this evening, last week I showed you guys how to cook for yourself pretty fast and economically for an entire week with, let's say, 125 bucks. But let's assume we wanted to do something a little bit more, not necessarily pricey, but a little bit more pricey, but still keeping in mind economics and what have you. So to this evening, what I did is I actually got myself, which is something I always do. I got myself an entire block of ribeye, okay? And this is prime rib ribeye. So this is USDA prime, which it's like the top 2 to 3% of all beef produced in the U.S. A higher quality, very tender. This is what a lot of your higher end steakhouses would have. Generally, if you went to buy prime rib, let's say even at Whole Foods, a pound of prime rib is going to cost you about $27 a pound, 28 maybe. All right, but if you buy it in bulk, you can get it for as little as $13 a pound. Same thing, but you're just buying it in bulk and you're actually carving it yourself. So what I'm actually going to show is myself carving the ribeye. Let me go ahead and get rid of these comments so that you guys can see better over here. Let's see how I do that. No. There we go. Fantastic. Oh man. Okay. Let's see. I was trying to do. All right. Anyway, but so I'm gonna show that. Also, last week when I was doing my cooking demo, I showed you guys the starting process of my doing a leg of lamb. Okay. But you guys didn't see the finish, and a lot of people would say they didn't see the finish. So what I actually did today is I actually had a meal that I put in my crock pot about 8 hours ago that I'm actually going to show how easily it just comes out and how great it looks. And then also I have a few other things that I'm going to show you guys. So let's start off with, first of all, showing you guys the meal that I had put in my crock pot and how it finished off. So here we go. So basically, what I had done, so move this forward a little bit. What I had done earlier is I put in my crock pot, I put some oxtails, okay? And you guys saw me when I made the leg of lamb last week. It was very simple. I put some onions, you can put some herbs in there, garlic, and then I put some rosemary and what have you. Same thing here, almost the same thing. Onions, garlic. I put a little bit of thyme in there and rosemary, and then I tossed in my oxtail with my regular seasonings, black pepper. I put a little bit of spice in there, a little bit more spice, and garlic salt and what have you. So now this is the finished product of what I have. I'm gonna pull the plate out as well. And mind you, since I put it in, haven't done anything to it besides put the seasonings in, close it up and turn it on, all right? And so you're gonna have a piece of oxtail right here. Even got a piece of thyme with it. Perfectly, and you can see how easily it's gonna come off the bone. Perfectly tender oxtail. Just like that, all right? And it tastes really good too. Now, one of the things that I'm gonna have is I'm also gonna have a lot of sauce with my oxtail, which I like, okay? Now with this oxtail, mind you, I can pair it with rice, I can pair it with sweet potatoes, I can eat it with just avocado or whatever throughout the week, all right? But one of the things I was gonna say that I have with my oxtail is I'm gonna have a lot of sauce, a lot of broth, okay? And mind you, now when I put the oxtail in, I don't put any liquid, so just oxtail. But meat makes its own broth. That's what people get things like bone broth and what have you from. And it's actually very tasty and can be very nutritious as well. And so, what you can do, if you wanted to, you can add this meat to a saucepan and cook it down even further to thicken your sauce if you wanted to. So if I wanted to do that with this, what I would do is, let me show you what that would look like. And mind you, this is the seasoned portion of your, because all those seasonings, those herbs and what have you that I put in, right? This is what makes this this broth, if you will. All right. Now I could cook that down in my saucepan to make it thicker if I wanted to, okay? Because once again, this is, like I said, your rosemary, your thyme, your garlic, all my non-salt seasoning, all those things, I can cook that down to make it a little thicker, or I can just add it to my mixture. So a lot of times what I do, because I don't really like it as thin as this, I'll just put it in my saucepan and just let it simmer and take a little bit more of the quote unquote water out of it, if you will. All right. And I'll just take it, put it in my simple saucepan like that, okay? And I'll cook it down. Alrighty. Perfect. All right, so I just want to show you guys that real quick. So now I have oxtail, once again, that I can make and I can consume with, like I said, rice. I have some wild rice going that I'm going to show you guys. Actually, it's black rice. I can do it with sweet potato. I can do it with just straight avocado. I can even make an oxtail sandwich if you want it. I can make an oxtail wrap, if you will. You know, it's very easy. Take the oxtail, put it on a thin piece of pita bread with a little bit of whatever kind of pico or whatever you want, and wrap it. It works just the same. Make a sandwich out of that. So I'm going to take this and slide this over here. All righty? Perfect. So that is that. Because a lot of times, once again, people do see the beginning part of a meal like that, but they don't see the end, and so they don't really know what it looks like when it ends. So there you go. All right. Perfect. All right, so back to our main demo for the day. So I have my steak, and once again, like I said, this is about 18 pounds, okay? And very simple. It's vacuum sealed, so we're just gonna cut open the vacuum seal. Real simple. Alrighty. And the one of the reasons why I love ribeye is because ribeye has a little bit more fat, and the fat adds to the flavor of your meat, okay? So there's two things that's gonna flavor your actual meat, the fat and the blood of the meat. So let me just go ahead and do this over the sink. Very simple. Right. Ah, fantastic. Now that's reducing. So now I have this huge 17 or 18 pounds, I always forget now, pounds of meat. Cost-wise, let's look at it. 17 or 18 pounds of meat, let's assume with fat and everything, it winds up being a raw 15 pounds. Okay, I can get 15 pounds, which is enough to give me a pound every single day for 15 days. And my cost was a little over 200 bucks, all right? And I could literally eat a pound of ribeye every single day, which is pretty good serving for a guy my size, every single day. Good, great quality meat, and very affordable. One time me and a couple of buddies went to a steakhouse a couple months ago, and we ordered a supposedly 40-ounce tomahawk. First of all, it wasn't 40 ounces. And the cost on the menu for the tomahawk itself, right, is almost the exact same cost for 40 ounces, which is supposedly just a little over 2 pounds, was the same cost as this that I paid for 17 pounds, all right? The only thing I have to do here that makes it, I don't know if I would even call it, that makes it difficult, is I would have to cut my own steak, right, and season it and cook it. And we know how easy it is to season and cook. So anyway, so what I'm gonna do, like I said, is I'm gonna actually carve this right in front of you guys, so to show you how easy it is. And pretty much, I am going to, there we go. Great. So I love to carve generous pieces, but the first piece, once again, is just the end piece. So you just want to get started with that, okay? And you want to make sure you cut down straight, okay? You don't want to be like gouging your meat, all right? The extra fat, we're gonna trim that. Now, some people trim most of it. You don't have to. So a piece like that is an excellent piece for like a breakfast steak or something like that. So not gonna toss it away, but right. All right. Second piece, so I can get it nice and even and started. A little bit more generous steak. There we go. All right. That's a nice steak that you would get at a grocery store or something like that. But now I have a straight edge, so now I can go now. So I can cut my steaks a little thicker. And what I love about this is you can cut to the thickness you desire, okay? So once again, a nice cut. Okay. Now if I wanted a slightly thicker steak, I can do that. Another good reason to make sure you have really, really good knives. Okay? Nice healthy piece of ribeye right there. Okay? And basically, when I cut my steaks like this, very simple, I am going to season them, and then once you season them, you can put them up. And these can stay frozen literally for weeks while seasoned. And all I have to do when I want one, pull it out, let it thaw, and I either cook it in my oven or in my air fryer. This one doesn't have a whole lot of fat, which is good, has just enough. And then every now and then, I will cut what I call a little bit party piece, where it's a little bit thicker steak, but that's it, you know. I'm cutting a steak that I'm gonna share. Okay, a little simple. Look at that one right there. Nice thick steak. And any one of these steaks is probably enough to feed me for an entire day plus, depending on how much I'm eating that day. Okay? Because each one of these steaks is going to be over a pound. Okay? Like I said, you can just carve off a little bit of the extra fat if you have it. Okay? And be strong with your cut, and always cut straight down. Okay? Now once again, you go to the grocery store at, let's say, like I said, Whole Foods, this is gonna be like $27, $28 a pound. Buy it in bulk, once again, $13, $13.50 a pound. Okay? Almost double. No, actually it is double. Okay? And what a lot of people don't realize is that good quality red meat has every single nutrient you need, with the exception of fiber and vitamin C. Okay, now if you eat organ meat, you're also going to get vitamin C as well, which is why I recommend that people have balance in their diet, where they're also getting fruits and vegetables for the additional nutrients, especially the fiber. Okay? So stick, eggs, avocado. You can do veggies. There we go. Very good. A good quick work of that. And voila, there we go. So the additional fat I got was about that, which is not even a whole pound. So this was actually a very good block that I got. And I actually got, let's see how many steaks I got out of this. Great. And this is just easy how you can meal prep your food, okay? Real easy. Alrighty. So I literally got 14 full steaks out of that block. And mind you, like I said, a lot of these are going to be north of 1 pound. Okay? 14 great steaks. Okay? Now next up, real simple, how do I prep these steaks for when I'm gonna do them? And this is the easiest, I shouldn't say the easiest, but this is the most important part because this is what saves you time. Now, if I'm not talking to you guys, cutting that probably would have taken me all of 5 minutes. I just start off with a little bit of organic olive oil. And I love to put olive or avocado oil on my steaks. First, because it just helps when you season for the seasonings to adhere. So I just brush them down, nice and easy. Okay. So remember, these are your steaks, so you can season them however you choose your favorite type. You don't have to season it one particular way. You can mix them up if you choose. Okay. Just flip them over. And generally, I mean, if you're somebody like me, if I was only eating steak, right, this is well over 2 weeks worth of food, okay? However, if you're gonna eat more than just steaks, which I do because I eat fish and other things like that, right? This is actually more than that, okay? Repeat the process on this side. And it's very good just when you do it, just to do it in a uniform way, because once again, you're prepping food for yourself for weeks, all right? This 10 minutes that it takes to do this saves you a lot of time, because then if you freeze your steaks or refrigerate them, you don't have to worry about having to season them every time, because once again, this seasoning stays on, and after a while, it penetrates. So the longer these can stay seasoned, sometimes the better. All right, so now we're olive oil on both sides, perfect. All right, next up, I always love to start, whenever I season meats, I always like to start off with cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper is great for seasoning meats because it also helps with your digestion of meat. A little bit of cayenne pepper helps you produce a little bit more gastric acid, which helps with the breakdown of meats. And so you don't have to overdo it, just a dash of cayenne pepper. Okay, just a dash. Cayenne pepper, once again, helps you produce more gastric acid, and it's obviously, for me, it gives great flavor. Just that little spice hint is awesome for me. But once again, you do it how you choose, you know? Perfect. The next thing I put on is my black pepper, okay? A little bit of coarse black pepper, great for enhancing your flavor. go. And I love coarse black pepper as opposed to fine black pepper. Another thing, when you buy black pepper, make sure it's organic, because especially when you buy fine black pepper, a lot of times they put fillers in, and you don't want that. A couple of companies, like, unfortunately, like McCormick, they've been caught putting some inorganic materials in their seasonings. So try your best to buy organic materials, organic seasonings, right? And when it comes down to black pepper, stick to the coarse black pepper or the full corn if you can. Okay? Simple black pepper. All right, now, depending on what flavor you want for your steak, you can put, sometimes I put the garlic herb, sometimes I will put more of an earthy type flavor to it. You can do paprika, you can do a lot of different things. Last week I showed you guys my garlic herb rub. I'm not going to use that today. I'm going to do more of a drier seasoning. Okay. So let's see. I got a wood fire garlic. I love that wood fire garlic. Once again, is another organic seasoning. Okay. And this one has a little salt in it. So once again, salt's not necessarily bad for you, okay? But you don't have to salt your food down. You don't have to make your food salty. Salt is not what adds flavor to your food. It's all the other things that adds flavor to your food. You know, your herbs, your seasonings, you know, things like black pepper, cayenne pepper, those are the things that actually add flavor to your food, not necessarily, you know, basting it down with salt. Sometimes people ruin the taste of stuff because it's just over salted. Okay? Yeah. Got that wood fire garlic. Even smells good in my opinion. So, go back to it. Wood fire garlic. Stop this real quick. Perfect. All right. Now, another thing when people season steaks, they forget the sides. So just make sure you grab each steak and put a little bit of seasoning on there, especially thicker steaks. Hit the sides a little bit. Right. And once again, remember, these are thick cuts of meat. So you can be a little generous, but like I said, don't overdo it. Alrighty. Great. Smaller ones. Right. Roll these out again. Now my last pass. I have a non-salt seasoning, um, which is just a bunch of dried herbs. And I love to put that on my steak last because that's what helps me crust the steak, you know. And then this one, because it has no salt, you can put way more because it's like chunks of garlic and all kinds of stuff like that, but it adds an incredible flavor to your steaks. And when I season them up like that, then I like to stack them. Which one I'm gonna cook today. Great. Right. Toss this. All right, so now that I got my steaks and everything put together, all right, I am actually going to make myself a steak for dinner. This is a little bit later than I normally cook. The only reason why is because we're doing a cooking demo. But I'm going to make myself a generous piece of steak that I will more than likely not eat all of. So let's see which one I'm going to pick. Let's go with this guy. Yeah. All right. So the whole time we've been cooking, I've now reduced the juice from my oxtail, and I just pour that on. All right. So now my oxtails are ready to be eaten whenever I want to eat oxtail. Like I said, I can pair them with rice. The rice is almost done, so you guys are going to see that. Okay. So let me wash this real quick. Get this out of the way. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna make this steak. I might make 2 of them, just so I can have my backup steak already for tomorrow. In case I wanted to eat steak, if I don't, then I can just save it for another day. So I can do myself. I can do a steak and eggs in the morning tomorrow if I wanted to. Tonight will just be simple steak and avocado, or I could eat a little bit of oxtail tomorrow. And I still have a little bit of my fish left from last week. Because remember, last week I actually made enough food for like 8 days. So I still have one little piece of fish left. I'm gonna let that cool. And then the other thing I'm gonna show you guys this evening, once I put the steak in, right, is what I'm going to do as far as dessert. Because people always ask me this, they always ask me, well, what do you have for dessert? And I've shown you guys my sweet potato brownie. I've shown you guys my making it a couple times, but I've never shown the finished product. So I'm going to show that today. Let me wash this off real quick. I always like to wash them on hot water as soon as I'm done. So, yes, I've never shown you guys the finished product of that before. And so I'm actually going to show that today because I actually made a sweet potato brownie that I can actually show you guys what it looks like. And there goes my beep. So that means that my air fryer is ready to go. And so I don't have the problem I had last week. I already got the fan going window open just in case the whatchamacallit, not the air fryer, but the smoke detector goes off. So, very simple. I have that. Take this steak. And this steak. Toss it in. Perfect. So now that I've done that, let's take a look at our brownie. Once again, this brownie is a sweet potato brownie. So basically, 4 basic ingredients for the brownie. All right, sweet potato, organic cacao powder, and that's the main ingredient, the organic cacao powder. Okay, sweet potato, organic cacao powder, a little bit of maple syrup. Once again, you can gauge how much maple syrup you're going to use. Okay, and then last but not least, nut butter. You can use almond butter, peanut butter, whatever nut butter you choose. Just use organic nut butter. I add things like chocolate chunks to mine, so things like because I make it more of like a brownie. So I add like organic unsweetened chocolate chunks. I add things like walnuts to it, and even some unsweetened coconut shavings. I top it off with that like that. So then I can take my brownie. Now, if here's another trick. Let's assume you don't necessarily like the texture of the brownie so much, and you wanted to give it a little bit more thickness or texture. You can add maybe a half a cup to a cup of, let's say, almond flour or something like that. Anything that is a non-heat flour, you can add a little bit. That will thicken it up a little bit, and it'll give it a better consistency. All right. But what we're trying to stay away from is we're trying to stay away from the wheat products. So this would be my brownie. And it's nice and warm. Very simple. And in keeping with being healthy, I told you guys about, our good friends at Caju Creamery, and this is the non-dairy ice cream from Caju Creamery. Once again, this ice cream, great ingredients. I think it's only like 8 ingredients, all organic ingredients, made from homemade cashew cream or homemade cashew milk. So, you really can't get much better than this. No dairy. No weird stuff in it that you can't pronounce, and also great tasting. And what I love about them is that they have the term I coined, I think, I don't know whether or not they told me this, but culturally diverse flavors. So for instance, this right here, the baklava, right? If anybody's from Greece, baklava, excellent. I would recommend this. So this is Caju Creamery. So it's Cajou, Caju Creamery. You can see them on Instagram. A lot of their ice creams are available in like the Whole Foods in like the Mid-Atlantic areas. but they're also, you can also order them as well. So Cashew Creamery. So baklava is awesome. Mexican cacao, so that would actually go good with this. This is another one. Horchata is like a dessert from Mexico. It's made with like rice milk, but this is actually really good. So I can take any one of these, and like I said, this ice cream is tremendously good. So I can take something like horchata and top it with a little horchata. There we go. And you know, we're not gonna do desserts every single day, but that's not a bad, right? That's not a bad dessert to have. And once again, which one is this? This is the horchata, okay, from Cashew Creamery. And this is actually an awesome, I think, dessert that you can have. All right. So check out Cashew Creamery. Once again, they have tons of other flavors besides just the horchata and the. I think my favorite one is going to be baklava. I'll be honest with you, baklava is my favorite. Horchata, it has a great. It's not overpowering, so that's why I'm going to put it on top of this. But the baklava by itself, my God. Also on top of that, it's also pretty good. So I probably would have me personally, I have a serving once a week. But that's enough for me. But actually really good. Once again, desserts are not supposed to be every single day. But if you're looking for a good dessert, why not also be healthy and be conscious of all the work you put in to preserve yourself. So we're not going to overdo it because it is going to be a little rich. And the thing about the taste of this also, you're not sacrificing taste. That's what I love about it. It still tastes 100% like ice cream. If nobody told you it wasn't dairy ice cream, you wouldn't know it. Let me flip these steaks real quick. Alrighty. So once again, if nobody told you these weren't actual dairy ice cream, you wouldn't know it. And for the people who are going to ask, this is Cashew Creamery. So Cajou, Cashew Creamery, and they are plant-based ice cream company, and they make really, really good flavors. Once again, these are just a couple of them, but they have some other really, really good ones as well. All right. So I don't know what I'm going to do because I'm not going to eat that right quick. I might eat that now. It's okay. Up. All right. So once again, when it comes down to good eating and nutrition-wise, the things we want to prioritize when we eat are the nutrients our bodies actually need most for proper function. All right. Somebody like myself right now, what I need the most is I need good quality nutrients in my body. What nutrients do I need? 22 essential nutrients. All right. That's my vitamins, my minerals, all the things that are the building blocks of a good, healthy body. Where can I get most of those things? From a good, lean piece of steak. All right. Then I also need things like fiber and other things like that. That's where I'm going to get that from my avocados, my sweet potatoes, and things of that nature. The beeping you just heard is my black rice. You know, I don't know how many people have black rice. Show of hands. How many people have black rice? It's a really, really good flavored rice. So I'm going to show you guys that. Here we go. And once again, I cook these things in bulk so that I can have them for the week. Look at that right there. Beautiful black rice. Okay? It's actually purple, but awesome. And I cooked this with rosemary and thyme in there. And I also put some some of my non-salt seasoning, and a little sea salt, so it actually comes out really good. When I put the water in there, I actually put not cashew, but coconut cream and a little bit of coconut oil, so it also is it's very flavorful. If you wanted to, just about when it was done, I could have added, or I could have put in some actual, raw kidney beans or something like that, and it would have cooked up with it. So then I could have had like a beans and rice kind of rice as well. So, good black rice. Once again, I cooked enough to where I will have enough to where I can have a spoonful of rice or something like that with any of my dishes. So let's say if I wanted to eat a little bit of my oxtail, I can put some black rice with it. I can put some avocado with oxtail, excellent meal. I can eat that with some of my fish. I could even take that black rice and cool it and then stir fry it. You guys have seen me do my pineapple stirred rice. I used black rice before that, so I would chop up some basil, some garlic, maybe a little bit of fresh ginger, saute some shrimp, and then toss it in there with an egg or two. Once again, great fried rice. But this is an awesome rice, better quality rice than just white rice because it's an actual wild rice, so it has more nutrients, more iron. So black rice actually has more iron, a little bit more fiber as well. So a great choice when it comes down to rice. So there we go. Alrighty, and our steaks are just about ready to pull. So let me pull this out real quick. Alrighty, and you know what? I normally wouldn't do this, but I guess dessert has to come first there. This is pretty serious. And the brownie's still warm too, so. This is awesome. Cashew creamery, check it out. Got 30 seconds left on the steak. That beat, and you pull. Right. Awesome. So whenever you pull a steak out of the heat, you want it to rest a little bit. So you gotta give it a few minutes, so you don't, when you cut it, it doesn't like drain out all your juices. But right. Let's take a look at them. Look at that. Perfectly charred. All right, steaks. Nope, got a little bit on the floor there. Juicy though. All right, perfectly charred steaks. We're gonna cut into them in a few seconds. Let me wash this off real quick. Look at that. And another thing is when I do cooking demos, I love to keep it simple. No knock against the people who do the professional cooking shows, but we're not professional chefs here, but we do cook because we have to eat. And so I love to keep it simple. I don't have a whole structure that I go through. Sometimes I laugh at my own mistakes when I forget things, but you know, it is what it is. So let me taste this here. So because this is what it's going to look like in your own house when you do it. So I might as well show you what it looks like in mine. All right. All right. Another thing about cooking steak. Steak is one of those meats that cooking it well done is not the best thing for your digestive system. The truth is, they say medium rare. I do medium to medium well. Some people medium rare is a little too much, but you just don't want to cook your steak well done. All right. And so whenever I cook a steak, especially this one that I'm going to be eating for the next day, I pick the thicker one, so that's going to be a little bit on the medium, on the other side of medium. And so this is going to be my actual medium steak. Properly cooked for consumption right now. And as you can see, perfectly medium. Okay? Pink, right? Good char. And so I'm gonna pair this with my avocado, and that is what I'm gonna have for dinner. All right, and these are what I got from my 15+ pound block of ribeyes. All right, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it. You can give me some suggestions on some things you'd like to see. But once again, easy to feed yourself, even if you're on a budget and eating well. Once again, if you take someone out for a steak dinner, okay, you're gonna easily spend $200+ on one dinner. All right, and I was able to spend the same amount of money, but have enough steak for 14 to 15 dinners by myself, right? And you guys see how long it doesn't take to make this dinner, how easy it is, and how relaxing it is, especially if you're gonna do it with somebody. You guys can enjoy a glass of wine or whatever, or just, you know, just talk. You know, going out is fun sometimes, but in our economy, we can be smarter with our food. And here's the other thing: when you go out to eat, you're not guaranteed the quality of meat. You're also not guaranteed that if they're going to make it to your liking. So you can also make it to your liking, get great quality, save a whole bunch of money, right? And still get the same thing, if not better, right? So something to think about. Anyway, like I said, hit me up, TitusUnlimited.com. Check out my organic supplements. Once again, when you start to eat like this is the building block of good health, the things you eat. You're not going to supplement yourself to good health. But then once you've done these things, then you look for good organic supplements, things like complete minerals, things like the beef liver complex, the superfoods bundle, the essential nutrients bundle, good krill oil. Taking those things will then shore up your great diet that you built for yourself. So I hope this has been beneficial. Once again, check out Kaju Creamery for your plant-based cashew milk ice cream, homemade cashew milk ice cream with organic materials. Once again, only like 8 or 9 ingredients, but great ingredients, all ingredients that you actually know. And you guys know I don't endorse a lot of things, but actually, you know, I know the owners, great people, great quality work, great quality product, and good for you as well, but also tastes great as well. So once again, visit TitusUnlimited.com. Book a consultation if you want to talk to me about your individual health as well. But once again, I hope this was helpful, and I don't know how long we took, but once again, Feeding yourself can be easy, it can be economical, and definitely tasty as well. All right, later.